99.9327684973429% of the time, she will fail. Que la que hay, mi gente. Rico.toro. Dr. Rico.toro, PhD, relationship advisor, a lot of other things, just not Chica babysitter. So if you're regular, welcome back. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, because you're going to be entertained. You might learn something. And those regular already hit that thumbs up. So, you know what it is. Esto es lo que hay. Salud. So, after too many weeks of only being in the gym like 2 to 3 times, but drinking 4 to 5 times a week, this week I switched it up. You know, rolled back, got a little focused. First drink all week, and was in the gym 4 times this week. Monday, Tuesday, rest Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday. So, salud a me. This is not Santo Libre this time. Today, it's just leyenda on the rocks. And I'm gonna slowly sip that a few times. Because leyenda, made by Brugal, is supposed to be the best. Or at least the best in the Brugal family. But the previous times that I tried it, you know, somebody threw me a random shot or something after I'd already had a few Santo Libres. So that's not really the best way to tell if it's good or not. So, just gonna sip slow on the rocks, bring some water in between. Having the plate of the day come out. So, shout out to that brother Brown that gave me my props on my Spanish speaking skills. Just, you know, a little conversation I had in passing on my last video. So, you know, I appreciate that. That sort of feedback, whether negative or positive, it's always encouraging and just makes me want to continue to do what I want to do. So shout out to him. And shout out to Mayor. Shout out to Mayor Willie. Mayor Willie, that's right. So, anyways, we're going to talk a little bit about testing the ladies. You got to test them every now and then. I already said the punchline, they failed, but, you know, actually, you know, 2 things bring this up. One, recent conversations I've been having with one of mine, where I decided to test her with my second phone. I didn't believe that she still had that number saved, so I tried her, you know. And another situation, somebody, a friend of the channel, who I haven't met in person yet, and I wouldn't do this for my best friend, what he asked. He offered to send me a cash app of a decent chunk of change and he sent me like an email with pictures, the Facebook link to his lady, or a lady he's working on, and, you know, wanted me basically to test her out. You know, he said basically, you know, she's supposed to be a non-pro, this and that. That's debatable, you know, and just, you know, try to get me to figure I had the patience to try to move on her and see when she take the bait. And I said, please don't send me a cash app for that, because I'm not in that business or service. So where were we? Let's continue. This is actually a video. I wanted to do the full thing basically from the street, but you know, sometimes out in the street you're like, you know, you're just not feeling it. Just too much happening to do certain topics out there. So I said, you know what, I gotta come wrap this up from my couch. I think this is probably like free game episode 27 or something, because I've done a little bit of free game lately. A lot, actually, if y'all break it down. So, anyways, yeah, the guy, like I say, the one friend of the channel, wanted to send me a cash app with all kinds of contact info and stuff to do a little recon, a little investigative work on his lady, we'll say. And I just had to shut that down. So actually, uncharacteristic of me, you know, after some recent conversations with one of my regulars, and you know, the other day, like I really never reach out to her to see her, you know, and I would see her more if she wasn't like such a little spoiled pain in the ass sometimes. But you know, the boom boom is incredible every time she brings it, consistent, you know. You know, I believe that it took me a while to get her to where things are the way they are in that area. So sometimes you just get curious, you know. There's certain questions that you'll want to ask. There's certain things that you'll really want to know, but you really don't want to know. Is the reality with a lot of these women that we're meeting. I mean, I meet all types, but most that are watching this, the types most are meeting. So, you know, like the other day, she's like, you know, hitting me up to see her, and I'm like, nah, not till later this week or whatever. And I'm like, I'm sure you got plenty of opportunities. And she's like, yeah, I do, but I'm not responding to anybody. I want to see you, Rico. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm like, that's nonsense, whatever. And she says, no, I'll prove it to you. So that's what sort of piqued my interest. So she sends me a screenshot of her Facebook Messenger inbox. And she had to actually do a video of it because it was so long, and it's just scrolling down like all these unopened messages. And I could tell by the nature they were all sort of the first message or the conversation starting messages, like hola Bella, you know, kind of thing. Just a lot of holas. And so she had pages and days worth of unopened messages there. But you know, I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I really didn't need to know that. But she insisted on letting me know there's all these options. She didn't want none of them. Meanwhile, rent is due and she's begging me. So eventually, you know, I say, all right, come Thursday, which was yesterday. And we'll say she's supposed to come at 3 p.m. So I wake up Thursday like, I don't think she still has my second phone number, because I blocked her in recent times, you know, from my main number, and she never tried to reach me on the other number. But in the past, she used to do that. If I blocked her from one, she would check the other, you know, etc. So I think between when she changed phones once, she never saved the old number again. So here's the thing. Yeah, I block her because she is kind of a pain in the ass at times. So sometimes I don't see her for like weeks at a time, or even like once not a month and a half, because like I say, there's some little personality things about her that just annoy me. And, just, I don't want to deal with, sometimes. So while there's a curiosity, like, what kind of service, what kind of activities are going on with others, I'm also not like so obsessed that I'm willing to like try some crazy outlandish exclusive arrangement that will never work either, because I know better. They all dip on the side. So yesterday I take my old phone, and I don't encourage nobody else to do this. I'm just sharing my story and moment of weakness I had. And I used a random picture as like a WhatsApp profile picture. Changed the name from my initials to like Thomas or something. And I just hit her up with a starter message like, hola, buenos dias. And she responds pretty quickly. And then we have a little back and forth. She's asking me where I'm from. She's telling me where she lives. I'm telling her, oh yeah, I'm staying over at Las Palmeras Hotel. It's my second time in the country. She didn't even ask how I got the number. This Thomas guy that she's playing along like she believes I am. So next thing you know, she's like, when would you like to see me? And I was kind of doing let's see if she's going to be late for me, or how that's going to screw her up, or if she would agree to around the same time as I was. So I was thinking about these things. So I'm like, how about 2? And then, and then a little bit goes by, and she's like, okay, is it possible I come early? I'm home bored or whatever. And, so I'm like, yeah, okay. And then we get into like the nitty gritty, the logistics, and, get everything in writing, right? Well, I probably screwed it up. This is where I screwed it up, actually. Because I just wanted to see how she would respond. So I asked her would she do one of those questions for a little more compensation, one of those things that I say don't put in writing. And, she's like, no. She's like, no, okay. Like, she didn't really want to answer that either anyways. And, these are things that it took me like 6 months of knowing her to get her to go to. Some of these areas. So immediately she tried the video call, and I didn't answer the call first, and I answered on like the third one, and she was just like, she sort of was like, you're crazy, Rico, you're too malo, and this that. I said, you're disgusting. I said, you're dirty. I said, you were gonna go see this guy before me. And whatever. And we sort of, like I say, after some trash talking, and then, I ended the call, and I basically was like, come at 3 like planned if you really want me to put it on you. So she came as scheduled, and, had a great time. Like, that little setup, she didn't bring that up. It wasn't brought up at all. So after the fact, I'm curious how she's going to respond to some questions. And like I say, a lot of times we think we want to know certain things. We really don't. We really don't. But, I like to see if somebody's going to lie or how honest they're going to be when I think I know the answers. So, there's a little distance between where she lives and where I'm at. So I asked her, I said, well, first I'm like, so I asked her, I said, so if you would have came to that early appointment, afterwards, would you have went back home until, time we're supposed to meet? Or would you look for another appointment? And, she was just straight up. She was like, see, usually the yes is to the first question. They don't answer the whole thing or both questions. See, and, basically, porque tú sabes, necesito dinero para mi casa. Okay? Like, yeah, because I need, yes, I need money for my rent or whatever. So, like, all right, well, I really appreciate your honesty. I said, just do me a favor. I'll see you earlier if you got a hectic day or something or whatever, or just happen it's a lucky day for you where things are busier than normal. And I'll see you earlier. Just do me that favor. Don't come see me after, one or two or hopefully not 3 or 4, people ahead of me. And she just sort of laughed, whatever. I said, look, I don't care what anybody does half the time. I ask questions to see if they're going to lie. And I appreciate the honesty, so that's just some of the reality. Now, I know the reality is often it's many of them, those that you never see in Sosua, they're not every day, every week, booked solid with multiple appointments. There are many that do come up on call, and when they're done, they go home most of the time. I also know that, like, given the opportunity, they'll always say the rent's due, or, I need money, and, as if they're always desperate. So, that doesn't really wash as an excuse to say, today they're more ambitious than others. No, it just means some days they have more options than others. Because they're always, when the option's there, the opportunity's there, they're equally ambitious, usually. So, there you go. More free game. Rico.toro. Hit that subscribe. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already done so. So, yeah. Basically, the rule of thumb is you can't be mad at a hoe for being a hoe. That's all I can say.